Welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we are looking at counting down, critiquing the 20 greatest WWE entrance songs ever. I don't have a British voice. I think this person was British, but usually it's like a sound like a robot. Basically, Watch Mojo, just like almost every single publication that exists, put out a list talking about we do it. I'm not saying where we talk about it all the time. Put out a list of the top 20 greatest WWE entrance songs ever. Less of a list, more of a video, more of a list in a video, and we're gonna go over it today. We're gonna see what we agree with, what we disagree with, see how valid the picks are. See how valid the picks are. No Woody. See how valid the picks are. No Cars 2. See how valid the picks are. Word to Monsters, Inc. One of those will work. One of those are good. I haven't seen this list. I don't know what's going to be on here, so it's going to be a surprise to me. It's going to be a surprise to you. It's kind of a live reaction and critique sort of thing. All right, before we get started, I've gone on too long. I've had like 3 bits already. Please make sure you subscribe, follow, leave comments with what you agree with and disagree with, blah, blah. All right, let's get started. Let's see what number 20 is.
Number 20, Booyaka 619.
All right, number 20, Booyaka 619, Rey Mysterio. Yeah, I like it. Good pick. I'm glad it gets the respect it deserves. I'm glad it's in the top 20. I probably wouldn't have put it in the top 10 either, admittedly. I do like the one he had before this with the "Who's that jumping out the sky?" That's the Rey theme song I prefer. But Booyaka 619 is a classic. I got no notes. Good pick.
Number 19, Line in the Sand, Evolution.
Hell yeah. This is a great pick. I think maybe it should be bumped up a little higher than 19, but like, I'm not really critiquing yet. I think the critiques are really gonna come once we get down the line here, but Line in the Sand, great. Motorhead's iconic with Triple H. Glad it got the respect it deserved. I feel like sometimes it can get overshadowed given other Motorhead picks, but cool to see. So far, so good.
Number 18, Visionary, Seth Rollins.
Kind of a surprising pick. I'm glad it's here. I think oftentimes I and a lot of people get caught up in newer stuff can't be in the greatest conversation yet. Newer theme songs haven't earned their place or whatever. But if a great song gets put out tomorrow and it's this is one of the greatest songs I ever heard, there are valid reasons why it's gonna beat some old song. I'm not articulating my point well, but you get what I mean. Just because it's new doesn't invalidate it from being in the greatest conversation. I find myself sometimes being guilty of that. With that said, Visionary, it's great with the whole crowd singing along with the Top 20, I think, is fair. Again, wouldn't be in the top 15 for me, but happy to see it. All right, moving on. 17. So far, I'm impressed. Watch Mojo, I didn't have, we're only 3 in, but I didn't have too high hopes for Watch Mojo. Today, we're counting down the top 20 high hopes John has for Watch Mojo. All right, moving on.
Number 17, Cult of Personality, CM Punk.
Criminally low. Whoa. Criminally low. This is a lot of people's ones. This is many people's top 3. This is even more people's top 5. Wow. Oh, 17's controversial. I wonder if this Fire Burns is going to be on here. Because I like Cult of Personality better. I think it's more iconic. But there's an argument for this Fire Burns to be a better entrance song. But I don't know. I don't know if Watch Mojo knows ball like that. 17 Cult of Personality is criminal. That should be at minimum top 10. Wow, 17's. We got to have bangers for the rest of this video. All right, moving on to 16. That's crazy.
Number 16, Head of the Table, Roman Reigns.
One over Cult of Personality? I don't know about that. I don't even know about it over Booyaka 619 or Line in the Sand. Head of the Table's good. It's an okay theme song. Yes, it does check the box, fitting its character, or fitting Roman's character, I should say. It feels big. It feels epic. It's really crazy. It's an arena song for sure. I don't know. If Cult of Personality's already at 17, I probably wouldn't have put this at top 20. I think there's a lot of other picks over Head of the Table. I'm not going to Head of the Table on Spotify, All right, moving on. That's a questionable pick.
Number 15, Burned, Kane.
Okay, 15, Burned, Kane. I did kind of pause for a second to do a little research. I was confused. I always thought Kane's was Slow Chemical by Finger 11. The video does explain that this was the original version. Finger 11 kind of took Jim Johnson's version, reworked it with the same melody and whatever. So I doubt they put Slow Chemical in there. Slow Chemical is what I pick for nostalgia reasons, but I get why Burn is on here. I'm gonna be kind of thinking about it. Slow Chemical, whatever. Same difference, but 15. Slow Chemical, Burned, whatever. I think is an underrated one. I really do. I think it deserves to be higher. The I think is really iconic. It feels like fire. That song feels like red flames, you know? 15's respectable. I don't mind it. It's underrated, IMO. All right, moving on. 14, what do we got?
Number 14, Graveyard Symphony, The Undertaker.
I'm sure it's had a bunch of iterations, but like the gong and the, you know, symphony, well, symphony's in the name, but you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not verbally describing it well. Solid. I think this is definitely a pick, and I'm not even like critiquing this reasoning. I think this is definitely a pick where it's like, it's less about it as a standalone song, which sometimes I fall into. Like I was talking about Roman Reigns, which I'm standing by my Roman Reigns take, but this is one that kind of is still that same argument of like, I wouldn't listen to this really in my free time, but the gong mixed with the sonics matching the Undertaker's, you know, aura and feel, it's hard to recreate. There hasn't been anything else like it. 14's a cool pick because it really just encapsulates Undertaker. It really does. All right, move on. 13.
Number 13, Kingdom, Cody Rhodes.
Whoa, this kind of goes back to the Seth thing where it's like, just because it's newer, just because it's not I Walk Alone or Metalingus from when I was a kid, doesn't disqualify it from being in the GOAT conversation. Kingdom's great. Kingdom's probably one of the best right now. Some of my favorites right now. I love Rhea's. I love Io Sky's. Cody's is great. It has so many good lines. With like wrestling has more than one royal family, and you take my kingdom, and then the something Cody Rhodes. It's spurred some great memes. I like this pick. Top 15's interesting. I'm not mad at it. I'm really not. I'm trying to think of reasons why it wouldn't be 13. I don't know how much higher I'd go, but 13 solid. I'm not mad at that.
Number 12, Metalingus, Edge.
Metalingus at 12. What are we doing? Oh, this is 1 or 2. Metalingus, oh man, Metalingus at 12, outside the top 10. This is feeling kind of I don't want to be mean. I'm sure they put a lot of work into this. I'm sure. Okay, whatever. You think you know me? You think you watch Mojo? 12 is an atrocious placement for Metalingus. I'm sorry. I can't be nice about it. I can't get past it. I Walk Alone better be in the top 5. Oh, Metalingus at 12 hurts. That's a punch to the gut. Wow. All right, we'll move on from that. I need to move on from that.
Number 11, Metal, Kurt Angle.
Great one. Really good one, especially incorporating the, you know, you suck. Fits the Olympic gold medalist perfectly. I like this pick. I don't know if I was making the list. I don't know if I'd hit 11. It would still be in the top 20 for sure. I respect 11. I don't know about above Metalingus, but yeah, we're not gonna get caught up here.
Number 10, The Game and King of Kings, Triple H.
10. This kind of feels like cheating a little bit. The Game and King of Kings. I don't know how you can have two different songs. I get they're both Triple H's theme song. I get they're both by Motorhead. Different. Kind of like, I'm not going to say vastly different songs, but like pretty different songs. Regardless, King of Kings and The Game, both great. I think, gun to my head, I think I'm going King of Kings a little over The Game. Two great picks, deserving of the top 10. I'd probably put at least one of them in my top 10. They both deserve top 20, so I am glad, as much as I'm kind of ragging on it, I guess I am kind of glad that the cheat was used here to put two of them there. Oh yeah, top 10. That's cool.
Number 9, Walk Alone, Batista.
9 is criminal. It's not as criminal as what was Metalingus? Metalingus was down there like 12 outside. I'm glad Walk Alone, I Walk Alone, they have it as Walk Alone. I'm glad I Walk Alone is in the top 10. I think at minimum though, it's top 5. And I am not being subjective. I am putting my and Stash Club's biases fully on display here. But man, I Walk Alone all the way down at 9. IMO, I Walk Alone I think is the best. I think I Walk Alone should be number 1. It's my personal favorite. I think it's perfect. We'll move on. There's gotta be bangers here from here on out.
Number 8, Break the Walls Down, Chris Jericho.
I like Break the Walls Down. I think deserving of a top 10 placement for sure. I'm going to start being annoying, but I'm really just comparing everything now to like I Walk Alone's placement, Metalingus's placement, and even Cult of Personality's placement. Am I putting Break the Walls deserves to be in the conversation with Metalingus and I Walk Alone? This has become less about Break the Walls Down, more about those other two. I'm focused. Break the Walls Down. Fantastic. All-timer. Happy to see it in the top 10. Wouldn't even be mad at top 5.
Number 7, Voices, Randy Orton.
All right, number 7, Voices, Randy Orton. This makes me nervous for a couple reasons, and they're all about the same subject. The subject is Burning My Light, baby. Burning My Light, I think, is Randy's best theme song. I think it beats Voices 10 times out of 10 twice on Sunday. However, Voices is great. I'm not giving enough credit to Voices. Voices is an all-timer. Voices is fantastic. Like I said, I'm just being so biased. This is like the most biased video I've ever made. And what I'm noticing, the other thing I'm worried about, the game and King of Kings got the cheat and put the 1 and 2, right? They could have put, I mean, they're so different. They're so different, but I wouldn't have been mad at Voices and Burning My Light. Put some respect on Burning My Light. The video's not over. I really doubt we're going to get any repeat wrestlers. I don't think we're going to see Voices at 7 and Burning My Light at 3. Burning My Light's probably not even on this list, and that makes me sad. Next, let's go to 6.
Number 6, Are You Ready? D-Generation X.
Are you ready? Boom, boom. Perfect. Love it. All-timer. Just outside the top 5. Again, if this was one in the top 5, I wouldn't have been mad. Definitely glad it's in the top 10. Does it beat some of the other ones? I don't know. It's questionable, but I'm not gonna harp on that. I could keep bringing that up the whole video, and I will. But solid. Love it. One of my all-time favorites. Next one.
Number 5, Sexy Boy, Shawn Michaels.
This is one, other than maybe some of the lower ones, this is kind of one of the higher ones that I'm like, perfect placement. Great placement. Glad it's this high. Sexy Boy is an all-timer. I remember being like a kid and like we'd like play wrestle and we'd have like entrances and I would come out oftentimes to a Ray or Batista or whatever. And sometimes my friend would come out to Sexy Boy and like my parents would just drop me off. He'd start blasting Sexy Boy and I'd be like, no, it says the word sexy in it. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. My parents can't hear that. Oh, this isn't PG. Yeah, man. Sexy Boy's an all-timer. There's been nothing else like it. You can't recreate it. Number 5, hell yeah. All right, moving on to number 4.
Number 4, The Time Is Now, John Cena.
Again, I personally would put a few that we've already seen above My Time Is Now, but I cannot hate on My Time Is Now being in the top 5. That's awesome. Banger. I'm pretty sure his album went platinum. If it didn't, it deserves to go triple platinum. Cool. My Time Is Now. Gets the respect it deserves. Moving on. I got nothing else to say about that placement. That is very solid and respectable. All right, we are coming down to the top 3, and I'm nervous. There's an obvious one that we haven't seen yet that oftentimes related to this person is kind of the scapegoat number 1 pick that people put number 1 to avoid controversy or people getting mad. It's an easy number 1. That's my prediction. That's going to be number 1, but you know, I think you know who I'm talking about. I don't even say that's a bad thing. It definitely deserves some number 1 spots, but like we're looking at a safe answer if that's the case. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Number 3.
Number 3, Electrifying, The Rock.
Oh, okay. I'm like kind of playing it like frame by frame in the video, and it's Electrifying by The Rock is number 3, and it's he's obviously interrupting Rusev, but the image is Rusev. Like they put Rusev at number 3. What the hell? But that's not the case. Electrifying The Rock, all timer. The If You Smell intro, what The Rock is. It's really, really good. Top 3 is solid. Again, I think we're getting to the conversation of a lot of it is now like the influence of maybe who The Rock was. It's a great theme song. I'm not even arguing top 5. I think I'm just arguing top 3. It's a great one for the great one, but okay. It's a solid pick for number 3. A little safe, but I understand. All right, number 2. Who's number 2?
Number 2, Real American, Hulk Hogan.
Oof. Oh, boy. This is number 2. Number 2 is Real American by Hulk Hogan. Oh, man. That sucks. Again, I think with the name of The Rock and with the name of Hulk Hogan, I think some of this has been influenced by how big of stars some of these people are. It's like, oh, we can't not put Hogan at 2. You can. You absolutely can. Real American, just in a vacuum as a song, I think is deserving of a top 20 spot. It is so 80s and Hogan of the 80s and the Uber Americana thing that was going on. I get it. Real Americans, I am a real. It's solid, but it's not number 2 of all time. Can we be real? It's not number 2 on a list that's titled top 20 greatest WWE entrance songs ever. And I think we know who number 1's gonna be based on what I think is kind of a cop-out top 3. Am I going too hard? Am I crazy? All right, moving on from that. Number 1 is, of course,
number 1, I Won't Do What You Tell Me, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Look, I'm coming off a what's the greatest wrestling t-shirt of all time. And number 1 and 2, I want to say this so people don't think I'm a hypocrite here. My number 1 and 2 were Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold. And there was definitely influence of how big of stars those two were, right? But I think the argument's a little different, where like the t-shirt one was like, a lot of the times the popular guy isn't gonna get the cool t-shirt, right? Part of the t-shirt is to make sales, and they're gonna get a cool one, and then obviously the character and longevity of the character elevates like the t-shirt, right? I think theme songs a little different, where a lot of mid-carders have bangers, especially in the 2000s. And obviously if you're on the higher card or the main event scene, like there's gonna be more focus to giving you the good stuff, right? And I don't know, maybe I'm sounding like a hypocrite. I'm trying to defend myself a little bit from me kind of doing the same thing, but maybe this is me critiquing myself in a way. Stone Cold Steve Austin absolutely deserve it. There's an argument for it for number 1, right? The glass shatter is the most iconic, I will say the most iconic intro, right? That I just watched WWE was playing like all the Royal Rumbles on a loop today, and I caught the 1997 Royal Rumble, and it was the one with Stone Cold, and he's like, you know, checking his watch and like whatever, and hearing that glass shatter, like I popped. He came out pretty early in the match, and hearing that glass shatter, it popped me. I understand it. Crowd went crazy even when that was like Stone Cold was still kind of like, but it was before he won a world championship. He was kind of still on the up and up. I get it. I understand. But taking into account like the song, I don't know. I am putting a lot of, I know I want to put, I wish I Walk Alone and Metalingus were higher. I Won't Do What You Tell Me is deserving of a top 3, a number 2. Like I said, there's even spots for a number 1. I think I'm just bored of seeing like the top 3 of these lists always being Stone Cold, Hogan, and The Rock, right? I don't know. I'm arguing against it, but it's also justified at the same time. I don't know. I think my point was, I think I was just looking forward to maybe seeing like a more exciting, you know, number 1. But and then maybe seeing this a little bit of a mirror. Maybe it's a little bit of a mirror and a little flashback to what I did in the t-shirt video with Hogan and Stone Cold at 2. I don't know. I think it's a little different, but it might be the exact same. I don't know. Oh, I didn't expect this. Okay. On that kind of weird and in my own head note, that's the video. Please leave a comment what you agree with, what you disagree with, what got snubbed, what should have been higher, what should have been lower. Please make sure you subscribe, leave a like. I appreciate it. I stream every now and again. I'm on Twitch. I'm on right here on YouTube. I've been streaming this past week, and we had some people in there. It's been a fun hang. Follow me and everything. I'll let you go. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. All right. Bye.